Straight ahead on CCX News, an out-of-this-world visit in Brooklyn Center from a NASA astronaut. Plus, the power of music, how it's helping seniors recapture memories in New Hope. But first, a Golden Valley company whose hand is on the pulse of the sports world. CCX News starts right now.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Golden Valley-based Mortensen Construction continues to be a major player on the arena and stadium scene.
And Mortensen is currently building a half dozen new sports facilities across the USA. And as Eric Nelson found out, they are also in charge of a major renovation project right here in the Twin Cities.
In downtown Minneapolis, the times really are a-changing.
It's going to have a completely different look and color than it does right now. We're adding message boards and display boards on the outside, a bunch of glass features, a new atrium entry on 6th Street.
Target Center is getting a Minnesota makeover, a $150 million three-phase renovation that is now 40% complete.
This is a little bit different process. We haven't seen a lot of these renovations. We build a lot of new stadiums, but this is a bit unique, and it's really fun to come back and work on a project that the company built back in 1990.
Golden Valley-based Mortensen Construction is in charge of the renovation.
I think everybody will love the renovation and the new look of the Target Center when it's complete here in October of this year.
A spectacular new video board is already up, and some luxurious new suites are open.
The work we did in the suite level really gets this stadium up to par with the suite amenities that we have across the river in St. Paul.
It's a full-circle project for Mortensen. They built Target Center in 1990 for $104 million.
Here we are again, upgrading the facility we built many years ago to make it a top first-class facility for Minneapolis.
When it comes to sports venues, Mortensen is the gold standard. Their forte is creating iconic athletic playpens across the U.S. They currently are working on projects in Atlanta, Milwaukee, and San Francisco.
Our sports and entertainment group, that's their focus, is building these facilities around the country, and we always have a handful underway.
In the Twin Cities, Mortensen's fingerprints are everywhere. They built Target Center, Target Field, TCF Bank Stadium, U.S. Bank Stadium, the XL Energy Center, and will soon construct Minnesota United's future soccer-specific venue. Currently, Mortensen has a crew of 100 working on this project. By the time the renovation ends in November, that will swell up to 500. In Minneapolis, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Mortensen has built a total of 170 sports and entertainment facilities at a cost of $9 billion.
Maple Grove could get something it has never had before, rooftop dining. Under a redevelopment plan approved Tuesday night by the Maple Grove City Council, Wild Bill's Sports Saloon at the corner of Elm Creek Boulevard and Main Street would be torn down. Replacing it would be a Crave restaurant and a Bank of America branch. The Crave restaurant includes plans for rooftop dining. The site also includes plans for two plaza areas connected by a covered walkway to make the area more attractive to pedestrians. Wild Bill's, we should note, isn't going away. It plans to take the space of a vacant Don Pablo's restaurant. The fountains at Arbor Lakes was always supposed to include a fountain, but after years of not working, a water feature is coming. It won't be a fountain, however. Instead, it will be a waterfall. Maple Grove city officials say a waterfall won't require as much maintenance.
Brooklyn Park plans to buy land that could lead to future development by Target. The city's Economic Development Authority plans to purchase a 23-acre site from MnDOT left over from the construction of Highway 610. The purchase price is $2.2 million. The site is adjacent to Target's northern campus. Under an existing development agreement, Target would get a 180-day window to purchase the property from the city. After that, Brooklyn Park could use the property as the city sees fit. Councilmember Mark Maida thought it could be a good idea to lease the property to a local farmer, something the city has done before.
Town hall meetings featuring members of Congress are popping up all across the nation. One will take place Thursday night in Plymouth, with or without the district's member of Congress. Mount Olivet Lutheran Church in Plymouth will host the town hall meeting Thursday night at 7 p.m. Organizers say they have invited Representative Eric Paulsen, but the congressman's staff responded by saying he had a prior commitment. Meeting organizer Kelly Gunshin hopes Paulsen attends and says the event will be civil.
I think that there is this bogeyman that certain legislators have about town hall meetings. They're fearful that their lives will be threatened, that it'll be raucous, and certainly there have been examples of that. But one of the purposes of this meeting is to demonstrate that town hall meetings can be civil.
In response to accusations that Paulsen hasn't held town hall meetings, Paulsen's office said he has held more than 100 in-person town halls, telephone town halls, and Congress on Your Corner events. He has already held 2 town halls this year and will continue engaging with constituents on all sides of the issues in a productive manner. Well, he spent 5 months in outer space serving as a flight engineer aboard the International Space Station.
And today he shared stories of his experience in Brooklyn Center. NASA astronaut Kjell Lindgren was at the Earl Brown Heritage Center to talk about safety in space and its applications on Earth. Officials with Minnesota hospitals and healthcare facilities heard Lindgren speak. Lindgren says emergency medicine functions much like being an astronaut, through teamwork.
And when I was here training as an emergency medicine doctor, that required a team. We had folks, the nurses, our utilization coordinators, our healthcare assistants, all of those were really a part of that education in making us better doctors. And it's the same as being an astronaut.
Prior to becoming an astronaut, Lindgren was an emergency medical physician who trained in Minneapolis at Hennepin County Medical Center.
A New Hope senior care facility is helping residents improve memory through music. Northridge Health and Rehab launched the program last year. Reporter Sonia Goins joins us now with more.
Delane, Northridge officials say they've seen a lot of progress since they started the program in October. Thanks to a generous donor, the care facility was able to purchase 10 iPods, and staff members were also trained in the music and memory program.
Do you like this one?
It's all right, I sing it, but it ain't like I'm gonna get up and dance.
Northridge started the program on its memory care unit where residents with Alzheimer's and dementia are located. Through the memory and music program, patients are given an iPod with a list of their favorite tunes. Experts say the music taps deep into memories not lost to dementia and often bring patients' memories back to life. Staff at Northridge say they've seen a lot of positive responses.
They don't wander as much, they won't cry as much, they're familiar with the music and it calms them down. We've seen some residents who get really upset and fidgety, and they'll listen to their music and they calm down so much that they fall asleep.
Northridge would like to expand its program. In the month of March, they are collecting iPods, iTunes cards, and monetary donations. They're also looking for CDs, mostly music through the 30s through the 80s. We've got more information on the fundraiser on our website, ccxmedia.org. Alex and Delane.
All right, thanks a lot, Sonia. Coming up, helpful tips to make sure tax time goes a little bit smoother.
Then later in sports, the Cooper girls basketball team shoots for another win to add to their impressive regular season.
But first, a reminder that it is, in fact, still winter. Hennepin County forecasters say snow, and possibly lots of it, is coming Thursday night into Friday. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you have stopped by an accountant's office lately, you know that tax season is well underway.
Yeah, the IRS has already started sending out refunds. If you haven't filed yet, reporter Shannon Slavin has a few notes for you in today's Money Savers.
Tax season is here, and if you haven't gotten that chore out of the way, now is the time.
Most of the time, you're not lending people money tax-free. Why lend it to the government tax-free? Get your money back as soon as you can.
Trey Peterson with Principal Preservation Services says if you procrastinate, that's when you can make costly mistakes.
So oftentimes what we find is a lot of people make mistakes on little things that you and I wouldn't think of. So numbers, they get their social security numbers wrong, they get account numbers wrong. Some people even misspell their names, believe it or not. And unfortunately, that can lead to penalties and even an audit.
If you don't want to file your own taxes, the experts say that's okay.
You don't have to be the best at everything, you just have to know somebody that is.
Make sure they're qualified, make sure they have good references, and research them at bbb.org.
Dan Hendrickson with the Better Business Bureau says do your homework when finding a person to prepare your taxes. If they make any big promises, that should be a big red flag.
You want to watch out for tax preparers who base their pay on your refund. Obviously, that's that's concerning, and you want to watch out for people who make the big claims, I can get you the biggest tax refund. It sounds good, but that also kind of incentivizes them to take maybe some risks that you wouldn't want them to take.
And if you just think you can't get it done by the deadline, that's okay too.
Taxes are due April 18th by 11:59 p.m. You can file for an extension. A lot of people think that the IRS frowns upon it. They actually are okay with it because they want us to get it right.
You will want to estimate what you do owe and get it paid by April 18th to avoid paying a fee. For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Peterson recommends if you do get a refund, make a plan for how to spend it. Smart money moves include using your refund to start an emergency fund or to pay down debt. Well, coming up, a friendly competition that's literally action-packed.
But first, it is a wild one as Armstrong rallies late in a boys basketball thriller. John Jacobson has that and much more coming up next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Armstrong's boys basketball team lost a tough 2-point game against second-ranked Maple Grove last Friday. The Falcons had a memorable game Tuesday night as they played host to Centennial. The Cougars play a solid first half. Ricky Eason comes off the bench to score 9 points as Centennial leads for a stretch. Armstrong's Isaiah Miller hits a three just before halftime, and the Falcons take a 30-28 lead into the half. But Centennial keeps battling. Elliott Lyden sets up Josh McReel for the dunk, and he scores 20 points in the second half. Down 7 with under 2 minutes left, Armstrong's Isaiah Rollins hits a three and is fouled. They pull within 57-54. Down 5 with under 15 seconds left. Race Thompson's three gives him 1,000 career points and makes it a 2-point game. And here's the big one. Thompson hits a step-back three at the buzzer to tie at 62-62. Forcing overtime, he scores 23 points in the game. And Armstrong completes the comeback as Calvin Green puts them ahead for good in overtime. Armstrong survives a big scare to win 70-68. The Champlin Park boys basketball team routed Elk River Tuesday night, but on Thursday the Rebels figured to get a good challenge. The Rebels are now 22-0 on the season and are ranked first in Class 4A. Thursday they host De La Salle, the top-ranked team in Class 3A and a perennial power under Coach Dave Thorson. It'll be a fun non-conference test for Champlin Park.
I think when you get an opportunity to play another great team, that's kind of what we want, with our team this year, is to challenge them during the regular season as much as possible, and being able to, play De La Salle #1 in 3A, and a team that's won, I think, 5 state titles in a row. It's a great opportunity for us to play great competition and to get better.
Tip-off for the Rebels at Islander is scheduled for 7 o'clock Thursday night at Champlin Park High School. In girls basketball, Cooper is enjoying a great season. The Hawks have wrapped up the Metro West Conference title, and they look to add another win Tuesday night as they hosted Richfield. Asia Wheeler gets the steal for the Hawks and outlets to Alexis Nance for the basket and foul. Nance scores 14 in the game. Jada Buford, no hesitation from way beyond the arc. Her three-pointer puts Cooper up 24-10. Then Buford zips a bullet pass to Sierra Lynch for another Hawks basket. Elizabeth Hepp is left open. She hits from long range. And the Hawks lead 52-22 at halftime. Cooper adding to its lead in the second half. Elizabeth Hepp finds Bernadette, her sister, for the long two-pointer. A nice offensive rebound and put back by Lauren Johnson gives the Hawks a 40-point lead. They roll to a win 86-54, and Cooper is now 22-3. Also in girls basketball, Northwest Suburban Conference West Division leader Park Center hosted Irondale. Pirates' Megan Dubois comes up with a steal, takes it all the way for a layup to give PC a 7-2 lead. In transition, Summer Blakemore passes ahead. Dahlia McKenzie knocks down the jumper. The Pirates' lead grows to 13 points. Blakemore passes to an open Dubois in the corner, who hesitates, then lets fly with a three. She leads Park Center in scoring with 17 points. Watch the nice pass here. Danielle Schaub to Ann Simonette for the reverse layup. Simonette scores a dozen points in the game. Schaub scores 14 and sets up Michaela Hayes here for another hoop. Park Center leads by 28 at halftime on the way to a 79-42 win over the Knights. The state gymnastics meet is Friday and Saturday at the University of Minnesota. This week's Sports Jam show on CCX, Jay Wilcox profiles 2 state qualifiers from Park Center. Here's a clip from that story.
They've provided a dynamic 1-2 punch that's helped to bring Park Center gymnastics to new heights. Senior Maddie Clausen, junior Haley Illy are a special pair.
I don't know how many schools have got a 1-2 punch like we've got with them. I mean, there's people that got the really good all-arounder, or the really good this, or the really good that, but we got 2.
We're both pretty competitive, but at the end of the day, we both love each other a lot, and we're really good friends, so it's great to have someone like her supporting me, and it's great to support someone like her, so. It's great. You know, each competition is kind of like our own little competition with, like, both of us, just to see, like, who can push each other more, and we're teammates, we're kind of rivals, but we're also like best friends, and so it's really nice.
You can see the rest of that story and more on our Sports Jam show on TV and online at ccxmedia.org. Elaine and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, it is get ready, set, and go in a business-to-business competition.
Some familiar faces pitch in for a contest that benefits children around the world. And finally, there was a little friendly competition among local businesses in the Northwest Metro today.
The rivalry, though, was all in the name of helping others who need it most.
Who's going to have that first bag? Who's going to have the first box? Here we go.
More than a dozen businesses, including a team from CCX Media, took part in a competition to pack the most meals Wednesday morning for the organization Feed My Starving Children. The goal is to pack a total of 2 million meals by Sunday night for hungry children around the world. Thousands of volunteers are needed to accomplish this goal. And for our CCX Media Executive Director Mike Johnson, the volunteer effort is especially meaningful because he just returned from a trip to Haiti where he could see the need firsthand.
Just basic things like water. I was on a water delivery team with a tanker truck, and these folks just come with buckets, 5-gallon buckets. Sometimes they bring 55-gallon buckets to fill up with basic needs for water, things that we take for granted.
The impact is huge. 2 million meals is 2 million kids who will get an opportunity to get something to eat. The impact of those numbers of meals for us to do this many meals at one time is huge for us, because we'll send well over 280 million meals around the world this year.
If you would like to volunteer this week at the Northwest Metro event, you can go to Feed My Starving Children's website. The packing is taking place at the Egan Company's warehouse in Champlin. And that's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Now, we'll see you back here again Thursday starting at 4 o'clock.